Sean Reyes, uno de los principales asesores, no nada más del presidente Trump, sino antes con administraciones de Obama. We will do it in English, just because here we're in this event. Sean, tell me something. It has been different to be an advisor with Obama and with Trump?
Very different styles. When I was serving for the Congress during President Obama's tenure, we were helping to try to create a museum of the American Latino to celebrate the contributions of Hispanics to making America great. And so I was appointed by Congress, but we worked closely with the Obama administration. And then subsequently, when President Trump came into office, I was a big supporter of President Trump in 2016. And so we helped him on a number of issues. We worked together on fighting human trafficking globally. We worked together on fighting the opioid drugs and substance abuse. We also worked together. He was amazing, President Trump was, at helping us get a 3-digit number called 988. It's like in America, 911, of course, is emergencies for physical emergencies. 988 is for mental health, emotional, behavioral health. And then President Trump, we worked together a lot on issues regarding the military and veterans. So I had an opportunity to work with both presidents throughout both of their terms. I think one constant is the importance of Mexico as an ally, the importance of the Mexican people, not just in terms of trade, but what the contributions have been to America. If you look at the history of America, lots of noise in the back.
No problem.
We'll do it. It's no problem. The contributions of Mexican Americans have been tremendous in business. If you look at the buying power and spending power of just Latino Americans, Hispanic Americans in Utah, the majority of which, or the largest single majority, are Mexican Americans, we're talking trillions of dollars of buying power. So I used to work with the Latin American Chamber of Commerce, the United States Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Now there's new organizations that have come forward, run by amazing people like Don Salazar.
Yes.
And
Don't worry.
And friends. There, Javier there, who has been a constant in that sector. So it was wonderful to serve in public office, but now I'm retired and I'm back in the private sector, and we're getting to do a lot more on the business side.
All right. Let me get in the business side and in the public. What is the most important thing now that you have to look for Latinos in the United States? Because many think about Latinos with Trump, and everybody thinks about he wants to deport them. But it's more of that. You cannot deport some millions that they are there. You have to work with them, and they are part of like you said, they are part of American history, and now they are part of the country in all the ways.
Isaac, I think there's a reason why President Trump garnered historic numbers of votes from Hispanic Americans, because so many of the policies that he had in his first term that will continue into his second term: economic development, support for small businesses, opportunity zones, lowering inflation, increasing tax breaks. All of those things really resonated with Hispanic families, because I think in politics too often, Hispanics historically voted a particular way, but President Trump broke the mold. President Trump has given Hispanics a lot more to be hopeful for during this second term, especially in contrast to what they experienced during the Biden administration. And so yes, there is a focus and emphasis a lot on border enforcement and immigration policy. But overall, if you ask Hispanics, and there are a number of polls that bear this out, far more important than immigration to them is protecting their family and having them be safe, providing for their family and having economic opportunity, and having freedom of speech, having the other liberties that America guarantees. Those are the things that we all are worried about, and Hispanics are no different.
Tell me something. They feel the Hispanic community in the United States now, they feel more like Hispanic, they feel more like American Hispanic, like Hispanic American. How do they feel now? Or there is no any difference, and they feel just like we are part, or there is some kind of signing that he is Hispanic?
Well, the question is, what do Hispanics feel like in America? Again, I think they feel more hope today than they have in a very long time. In terms of identity, I think they feel like they're Americans first. Those who have gone through the process to become legalized, those who have taken the oath of citizenship. My own father was an immigrant from the Philippines. He said that the greatest day in his life, next to marrying my mom, because he wasn't a stupid man, the best day was
Why?
taking the oath of office, the oath of citizenship,
yes,
to become American.
All right.
And so I think that those who have come from other countries, including from Mexico, who have worked hard to contribute in America, they're proud of being American, but they're also proud of their heritage. My father was fiercely proud of his traditions and his heritage, but he loved being American. He was a patriot through and through. And so using my father's example, for many who have recently come to America, who have gained citizenship by doing it the right way, the legal way, I think they're fiercely proud of both being American, but also having a culture of warriors, a culture of beauty and strength. So for me, I've always felt duly blessed because I was born in America. I was born an American citizen. I have that birthright. It's amazing. But I also was given from both sides of my family an incredible heritage, different cultures, different traditions, different stories, foods and music. And I think those strengthened my being an American. It made me be an even better American. And I hope that's what people in America who come from different backgrounds and different countries and cultures, I hope that's what they feel.
You're an advisor of President Trump in Latin American, in Hispanic issues. But one of these Hispanic issues is the relation with Mexico. Something that it looks sometimes conflictive, sometimes that look like with the Mexican president, it looks like good friends. They say they admire each other. What will you say it will be your best advice for Donald Trump now in the relation with Mexico, and after this famous day about liberty and all the taxes, and it's all the days talking, you have to talk with Mexico. What will it be?
Well,
your best advice?
I want to be clear. I am not currently an official advisor to President Trump.
So you can speak and say what you think about it, like a normal person.
And I don't speak for President Trump.
All right.
I admire President Trump. I have worked with him, and in his prior administration, I was a commissioner for the Asian Pacific Island community because I'm multicultural. So I have Hispanic, I have Asian, I have Polynesian. But if I had an opportunity to talk to President Trump about Mexico, I don't think it would be different than what we've talked about before. When he hosted, at the White House, so many Mexican leaders, one of them who's here at this conference, Eduardo Verástegui, or who's on his way. I've been there when the president has talked about his admiration for the strength of the Mexican people. One thing, President Trump is a big fan of boxing.
Yes.
He
loves Canelo Alvarez. He said it and
he can tell you going back, not just a fan, but he really helped promote a lot of the sport in the United States and around the world. And I've sat with him, and he knows from 25 years ago which round, who was throwing what punch, who was countering. And I know from discussions that he has an admiration for Mexican fighters. You mentioned Saul, you mentioned Canelo Alvarez. Canelo is also a friend. We golf together in Del Mar every year to raise funds for Navy SEAls and for other
You have to
special
box with him.
operators.
You have to fight against him. It will be a good experience.
Here's my offer to Canelo, and I'm not stupid. I would never just box with him for a number of rounds. If he will let me do mixed martial arts, where I trained in, for the first 3 rounds, and he could survive that, and then we can do boxing after.
All right.
Then
All right. We have that. We will send it to Canelo. Let's say what he's...
I'm not challenging Canelo. He beats me in golf. He's better looking. He's got more money. He's cooler. But this is what I was saying about what President Trump admires the strength and the fearlessness of Mexican boxers, because they have a style. You know this style. They don't back down. They come forward. They would rather get knocked out and essentially go home on their shield than to retreat. And I think that speaks a lot about the Mexican culture. Is the Mexican culture perfect? No. Is the American culture perfect? No, there is no perfect culture. But the Mexican culture is full of beauty and truth and grace. It has so much. And I think boxing is one of those. You have so many champions over the years who've been Mexican or Mexican American. I remember one of my favorites, the Lion of Culiacan, Julio Cesar Chavez.
Sure.
There may never be a better champion than Julio Cesar Chavez in the history of all of boxing. So it's funny because if we were talking about Mexico with President Trump, we might be having a conversation, or more likely having a conversation about golf with Canelo, or boxing with any of these.
And what will be the advice for you will advise him to have more fights, but boxing fights. But what will be the advice? What has do Donald Trump and his administration do for Mexico now?
Well,
or with Mexico?
The president's priority is America, which is understandable, right? The Mexican president's priority should be Mexico. The U.S. president's priority should be the United States of America and its interests. We all know, though, that we can't do everything in this multi-layered world alone. So, of course, we have allies and we have friends. And I think President Trump and his advisors, his actual official advisors, have a very good understanding of the benefits of the U.S. and Mexican relationship. So, any other questions about Mexico and what's going on? Mexico has a vibrant venture, private equity ecosystem, and I'm here at the Alea conference for Latam with Alba Medina and so many.
Let's talk about business.
Leaders. Let's talk about business.
What do you see? How do you see business now between Mexico, with Hispanic, with the American, with the United States? After all this, it changes the world. What Donald Trump and his administration did this week with this, or how do you see what are the most important things we have to look at it, and where do we have to invest now?
Well, if this conference is any indicator of the excitement that people have for investing in Mexico and with Mexico and America and with other investment allies. So here at the conference, we have Kuwait, UAE, Israel, Saudi Arabia,
Colombia,
and then on the Latam side, of course, Colombia, Chile, Peru, Argentina.
Yes.
We've got Guatemala. I just met a young lady from very successful, so Central America, Nicaragua, Honduras. I've met people here in an hour from all of these different areas. They have capital to invest in America, and America has capital to invest throughout Latin America, not just America. You asked me about America, but the Asian countries that have strong capital interest in investing in Latin America.
And what do you have to invest? in
What's
this
that?
what do you have in what do you do you recommend? Because here some people talk about blockchain, others talk about
Sure, AI and blockchain, everybody can invest all day long.
I don't know, in many industries, in AI.
Those are exciting. Don't get me wrong. I have investments in AI and blockchain. I sit on boards for AI companies and blockchain companies. However, you can't forget that Mexico has tremendous natural resources. Mexico has very enticing real estate development opportunities for the hospitality and travel industry. And their traditional Mexican manufacturing is, across a lot of different industries. So while AI and blockchain and cloud computing and edge, those things are all rightfully of interest right now, and Latin America should be a significant part of that. Don't forget some of the more traditional investment types of opportunities, and that's what we're talking about. There are panels in there talking about sports teams.
Yes.
There are panels in there talking about investing in all sorts of different types of real estate plays, from commercial real estate to development of luxury properties. There is
what is your company? What does invest? You run a company of investments, no?
I used to run a fund.
Or what do you do now with this fund?
I advise the funds.
All right.
Because if I were tied to just one fund, then I would only be looking for deals for that fund. Instead, I'm a friend to hundreds of different funds and family offices and foundations and firms.
And for people who want to be in these funds or use them or to put their money in these funds, how to decide which one? Because we have found, I don't know, 10 different, 20 different. Which one to decide on which one do people have to be looking that is investing their money?
So which funds would you invest in? How do you decide? Those are complex questions. It depends on what risk tolerance you have. It depends on what expertise you have. It depends on a whole host of factors. But the important thing is that there's a diversity of different types of funds here with opportunities for everyone, no matter what you want to invest in. That's the key thing here.
And if people want to contact you, for what do they contact you, or just found? Who has to contact you, or who are you looking for to contact? Which is your client?
For me, my biggest clients are family offices.
Exactly.
And I advise and curate for private equity, for venture, for family offices. I help them put and connect deals together. So if there's capital to deploy, where and how and when to deploy that. If they need capital, who to take capital from, or is it a strategic partnership? Those are the things that I curate. Is it talent that needs to come together? Do you need a family office built up around you and your business? If you've never thought about your asset management and the tax implications and the accounting and all of that, maybe you don't have a full-fledged single-family office. Maybe you need to access a multi-family office or a whole new model. I would say a multi-family office for the masses on a micro level. So if anyone wants to reach out, they can. I have an Instagram page.
We will load them. We will put it there.
You can put it on. But I'm former Attorney General of the state of Utah, Sean Reyes. I served 3 terms, and now I'm an advisor to influential people, celebrities, athletes, and CEOs who need help with structuring, with dealing with regulators, legal issues, capital raising and development, and all of those things. So again, I speak at a lot of family office events, and I love to be able to find solutions for people of goodwill around the world who also want to make a social impact. There are lots of different ways to make money, but some you can make money and do a lot of good. I love the moonshot plays that help raise the standard of living, lessen suffering, save lives, rescue people from bondage.
And congratulations on what you are doing, saving kids, and what you do with Eduardo, and what you are doing. It's incredible.
Thank you.
It touched our hearts just to hear how many kids you have saved and families, and what you are doing.
Human
I think that's the
trafficking
most.
is one of the greatest evils, Isaac, as you know, that we face. Maybe the greatest
Yes.
evil internationally. And so, if I have one plea for everyone who's listening, anyone is a potential victim of human trafficking, anyone's child
Yes.
or grandchild. And so to fight back against that, we need everyone, regardless of whether you're young or old or rich or poor, whether you think you're influential or not. Everyone has a voice. Everyone can make a difference in this fight. And if enough people of light, if warriors of light will stand up together, regardless of your political affiliation, again, regardless of what country you hail from, if we will stand together to push back against this darkness, this evil of human trafficking globally, we have a chance, once and for all, to eradicate the world of this horror.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.